Hello and welcome back to the ESL Pro League APAC Finals live from Sydney, Australia. We started off with 8 teams. We've now qualified 3 teams through to Sunday's finals. That's 3 Aussie teams, mind you. Now we have MVP PK up against Signature in the lower bracket final. We've also had a change up on the desk. Sonic, welcome aboard. I hope you're here to stay. We're not going to swap you out, don't you worry. You're here for the rest of the day at least, mate. I think Kev's gone upstairs to cast. What are your thoughts been on the game so far?
It's been interesting. I think MVP have shown some really great things. They're obviously the team that we kind of been pinpointing as one of the dominant Asian teams coming into this scene. And then on the counterpoint to that, you know, kind of counterplaying how the Australian team's going to go against this. You know, obviously in the past there's been some shakiness against the Asian teams, high expectations of what we think of our Australian teams, but they've really performed up to that level. And the substitutes, the new players, coming into those 2 new lineups of Greyhounds and Tainted have played really well. What
did you think about what we've seen from MVP today? For most of us, it's been a little bit lackluster. What would you put that down to?
It's a bit shaky. I think that it's difficult to kind of force your game style onto a team that you don't really play against. And when you're playing a really structured kind of structured way, you know, what we kind of saw with them doing so well on Inferno, when you're going towards your weaker maps and your weaker map pool, it's really hard to force that structure down into a team where you're not feeling comfortable playing against. And that's what we really saw Order kind of capitalizing on Mirage. It really did seem like MVP seemed uncomfortable playing the way that they wanted to play. Whereas on Inferno, on the flip side, they obviously felt so comfortable and they were constantly controlling the map and really getting those kills where they wanted them.
What do you think about the games we saw yesterday then? Now, it's kind of funny, right? Because coming into this competition, we were like, well, you've got Greyhound and TM in one bracket, so probably Greyhound comes out on top. That means they should be able to verse maybe Order in the other bracket. And the actual fact is that's who they ended up with, but coming the other way around. Were the results yesterday a surprise?
I think the only one kind of thrown in there was Greyhound. I thought Tainted were going to be a bit of an unknown. You know, obviously, they're such a strong team, but they've really had some difficulties as of late. With the new player Burn coming into that lineup, it was going to be interesting questions. You know, I think they just need a tournament like this to kind of step up and get up to their pedigree. Greyhound's a little bit shaky, but they're able to kind of build off that and get really strong into that final best of 3 of the day, where they looked really dominant in that final map and really kind of showed why they were the better team in that boot situation. But on the flip side, I think it was difficult for both those Asian teams, especially Boot, bringing in that new player, bringing a substitute, new coach.
It's hard, right?
You could tell from the way that they were kind of approaching that game, where I didn't think they felt too much pressure on themselves. I think that they had put a good showing up against Greyhound, winning that first best of 1. They weren't too fussed coming into that next game, and you know, it's difficult to play against Greyhound in the best of days, but especially with a substitute and new players coming in, it was always going to be tough for them.
Well, our last matchup of the day, it's a best of 3, our lower bracket final. It's Signature Gaming up against MVP PK. Ian, talk to us about these 2 teams.
Well, I mean, for a start, I never thought we would get here, but here we are. And Signature Gaming, well, look, they're not that bad. I mean, we didn't give them much of a chance or a good rap, really, coming into this. They've done pretty well against Order, and then they've made short work of SC Absolute. So you've got to give them credit where it's due. And MVPs, obviously, we just saw them against Order. They're all extremely sharp players, but something just isn't clicking for them today. You saw them just get lost so many times on the 3v3, 2vx situations, and usually that's where they make their money. So for me, it's Signature Gaming. If they come out strong here, if they have a good opportunity to really get in front of the 8 ball, you might say, against MVP, you know, QQ having a good game so far today already, and now obviously Cigarette's Reality, who's the in-game leader, and the APA for Signature, for those that might not know. And then you also have the likes of Genius, who, as Kevin likes to talk about, he had a 1.7 rating for 1 game against Boot in the qualifier.
Well, these guys, they haven't been out here before. We had a bit of a chat to them. Let's go and take a look at Signature's video.
Hello, my name is Phumpat Pujanat. I'm QQ from Signature. I'm representing Thailand. First, we have Cigarette, who is our star player, and we have Genius, who is our entry fragger, and Rolex is our lurker, and Reality is our upper, and our in-game leader as well. We have been together for 8 months, I think. We practice a lot and we keep finding a solution of our problem every time we play. We make some weird plays sometimes, like crazy plays, individual plays, because we trust each other to make some weird play. I didn't expect to win both Dreamscape and qualify for the winner bracket, but still, I still feel like we have a good chance. I think it's a really good opportunity for us to play our first abroad land, to be able to compete with top teams in the world. I think if we perform very well against order, we can beat them in best of one. The rest, I really don't know what's gonna happen. Try to do our best.
Well, when you talk about playing against the top teams abroad, maybe they didn't necessarily think they'd be going up against MVP, but there, to be fair, is not much of a greater ask when you're talking about the APAC region.
Yeah, I really find it interesting the way they kind of talked about themselves. I think it's interesting for them to have such a critical analysis of themselves, to be able to know that, hey, look, it's a best of one potential. We do make some weird plays and kind of different things like that. And they're kind of coming into this with a kind of realistic view of this. They obviously know they're going to be the underdogs coming up against most of these teams in the region. Obviously, they did a good performance against Sub-Zero. But it's also going to give that wild card factor to them. They know that they can't play up to the same level of structure and the same level of discipline of some of the other teams at this competition. So they're going to try and bring in their wild card. And they've got a lot of star fragging of power. It's like, when I look at these Asian teams, it feels like they've kind of grown up in this scene where they've been kind of bullied around by Tyloo, so they know that they need to come in with that wild card factor and really explosiveness to be able to qualify and win events. And that's what you see from these teams. They have massive maps, massive series, but then they can kind of drift away and not really have that same level of consistency like we see in teams like MVP and Tyloo.
Yeah, well, talking about MVP, I want to talk about consistency and this matchup, right? So today, from MVP, we've seen them win 16-14, then they lost 16-13, 6-16, 16-13. For a team that is the best in the region, those aren't necessarily some great numbers, Ian. How do you think that they're feeling right now?
Oh, I think they would be pretty upset with themselves. Obviously, losing to an Australian team for them would be just not up to par, not their standard, I don't think. I mean, they've lost to us before down here. They would have wanted a successful trip. And now they need to fight for their right to stay in the party and make their way to Dallas. So for me, I think, you know, if I'm Signature Gaming right now, I'm thinking, look, scorelines have been respectable.
Yeah.
We got through the lower bracket. Now we're up against MVP. There's no pressure on us. We just have some fun. And sometimes you can play your best Counter-Strike in that sort of mood. And I think MVP need to be a little bit worried here. They can't afford to muck around. This has to be a quick 2-0. They need to nip it in the bud. Otherwise, who knows what could happen.
What are your thoughts on this matchup, Sonic?
Yeah, I think that MVP are really going to have to reset. And with the way that these map videos are going to kind of play out, you know, they're going to get a comfortable map for that first map pick, and I think that's going to be a vital thing here for MVP, especially if they're able to get onto an Inferno, which in the past when we've seen these two teams play, it's actually a map that is going to be left open for MVP. I think it'd be wise for Signature to even step back and play on a weaker map coming into this series, just to let kind of continue that wild factor, not making them feel as comfortable. And like they said in that pre-game video, let those individual players kind of make it out and let that be the gap and the difference for you in this series, because it's just that one series for them to get into in the semi-finals, and anything can happen, especially off the back of what was a pretty lackluster, like Ian said, best of 3 for MVP.
And the reality is that when you talk about momentum coming into this game, Signature are coming off a quick 2-0, whilst MVP are coming off a 2-1 loss. So momentum-based, obviously they had the easier matchup, but everything is kind of going in Signature's favour. If there is a way for them to win, I feel like the things have gone the way that they needed to go.
Like a battered MVP would be the way through to Dallas.
Yeah, well, what better way? If you beat them now, you don't have to play them tomorrow.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So
you just got to verse those pesky Aussie teams that you almost beat already.
Exactly. Perfect. What maps are we going to see in?
Oh, look, I'm not really sure. Like Sonic said, you'd be a fool not to get rid of Inferno, really, after seeing that, unless you're just you're happy to discard at least one map from the 3. For me, maybe an overpass or maybe even probably a cobblestone again.
Okay. Sonic, you said no Inferno. What maps will we play?
I feel like that would be the wise decision for them to get rid of Inferno, but I have that feeling that it's going to go into those Infernos, those Cobbles and Mirage. I don't think we really see the depth in the map pool from some of these teams for them to feel confident doing stuff like that. So it's just going to be a matter of playing those maps and hoping for the best. I don't think that there's going to be anything crazy on that.
Maybe like a Cobble, then a Mirage, overpass. Do you think they'll leave Overpass in there? Or nah, Cache.
Probably Mirage. Cache does sound quite likely.
Okay. Well, we don't have to guess any longer. Let's go and take a look at the first 2 vetoed maps. So no Overpass, no nuke. Almost shot yourself in the foot there.
Rip.
Yeah.
Nah, I was hoping that they wouldn't ban Overpass, and then that'll be a chance for your boy Signature to sneak one in.
Well, that's it. That means that the next map one would expect will be an Inferno pick, which it is, and then Train. Yeah. What do we think about that?
Well, we've seen them already, haven't we?
Yeah, they did see Order play. You know, obviously, actually playing at the same time, they weren't actually able to play against them. But Train wasn't the best of maps for MVP. Leaving Inferno open as the first map as the best of 3 is kind of crazy to me. But they obviously just don't feel confident playing Nuke.
Yeah, is that it? They just don't want to play
MVP do play Nuke.
Right.
They're like one of the only teams in the region that play Nuke, and they play it to a high standard as well. So what do you do? Maybe
they're just going to stack B time and time again on defense and see what happens, right? You got to try it once.
I think it might work.
I just want to go see, are we going to see Cache as our last map potentially in this best of 3? Cobblestone instead. Say la vie. At least we're going to get to see it once or twice before it's gone from our competitive map pool.
Oh, it'll be here tomorrow, don't worry.
Yeah.
We've got to say that Cobble was the only map that Signature picked up against MVP, to my knowledge. So possibly if we can go for a third, somehow they can stand through this beating that will be Inferno against MVP. Possibly if they can get to that Cobblestone. But I feel like the momentum that MVP will build up on Inferno is just going to be far too much for Signature to handle.
So are we saying 2-0s across the board? Ian, what is your prediction here, my friend?
I'm going to go Signature 2-0.
Oh, yeah? That's my pick, mate.
Both maps 16-0.
Okay.
Guy's a high-stake gambler over here.
Certainly can't be any worse than you are at actually playing CSGO, Ian.
I'm winning the gamble game here with you, and I know I'm playing the Sandman.
You've done what you've told people to do all day, is come and play the CS that you see your opponents playing.
And now you have nowhere to go except to choose a favourite.
Except to choose the correct answer. Sonic, what's the score?
Because you're really stuck in the situation now.
Yeah.
You're either agreeing with Sniper's terrible call or you're going your own way.
Just you wait and see.
I think it's going to be a 2-0 here for MVP. I really want to see more from them on those other maps, especially possibly coming into tomorrow. I want to be able to see that next level on some different maps and for them to be able to play with that same consistency and impressiveness that we've seen on Inferno.
Well, Ian, you're out of luck, mate, because I'm going for MVP. 16-6, 16-4. We're going home in a couple of hours. Gentlemen upstairs, aren't you ready to go? Karath, what are your thoughts on this one, friend?
I have no thoughts on this because I've always been wrong so far this entire weekend, Matt. And at this stage, I think Stu is more than correct in terms of this replacement.
Oh, yeah. Now you're off the desk, and Ian led me wrong last time. I'm with Sonic on this one.
Yep. So I just go, Ian is no longer my best friend. Stu is now my new best friend. So that's pretty much me. Yep.
Yeah, you've traded up there. I'm impressed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well done. Good value.
But Matt, first time we're casting together, so we're finally reunited once again. I mean, I've got better hair.
Yeah.
You've changed the color of your hair.
I have.
Since then.
I wouldn't argue better, but it's different.
Yep, but maybe sometimes different is good. And we're coming into a matchup where normally not used to seeing a SEA kind of style meta versus a Chinese meta, because MVP PK obviously practicing a lot against the Chinese teams. It's going to be very, very intriguing to see what Signature bring across the board against a lineup which maybe a little bit disappointed they lost against Order.
Yeah, I mean, MVP played well. I mean, you refer back to the past match to confirm that statement. I think that's pretty simple. But looking at the way these two teams have played and what they're going to be bringing to our first map here on Inferno, I'm excited because this is a meta that I often don't get to cover, especially because this is Southeast Asia and China, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see how the players on both sides step up. MVP PK, we had Zion having a banger of a series, but unfortunately it wasn't enough by himself. We're going to need to see the rest of the MVP PK members step up around him. But similarly, Signature, they have nothing to lose right now to try and upset MVP PK. This is going to be MVP's map pick, and so Signature going to be doing the safe bet and starting on the CT side.
And we're going to get the push for banana control immediately. Solo, nice jump peek over the wall. Is going to spot out Cigarettes, who'll have to drop back. He copped a little bit of damage from that HG, down to 87 health. Reality, only person with a kit here for Signature. Likewise, doesn't have any armor, opted for the smoke instead.
MVP just going to be chewing up a little bit of time, but still going to be angling for that B side attack. They might just be cracking it open right now. Only Zion lurking the other side. That's what he loves doing.
He certainly does, and it is the push from Zeph, looking to gain a little bit more ground here with a cheeky peek on QQ God. That's going to be our first kill. Solo follow it up with cigarettes. And now B is looking good here for MVP PK. The only contest they're going to have is, of course, coming from CT.
Yeah, pretty easy stuff from MVP PK. Just making that contact plays. And once contact plays work out, well, there's nothing you can do for the CT side. And Solo is just single-handedly just demolishing them.
He's cleaning up. He's the janitor with the mop right now. Genius will be the last mess that he wipes away from the floor of Inferno. 4 for him in that round.
Yep, so MVP, I'd say that they do the same game plan that they did against Order. Well, they completely wiped B bomb site. They just kept going there. So Signature, eventually they're going to need to step up. And their biggest fear at the moment, starting on the CT side, you've lost Pistol, is trying to build up their economy. They forced up in this. They're looking to do some damage. It's a pretty big mix buy. You have some grenades in some members. Then you don't really have grenades in others. So going to be interesting to see how they approach this. Already MVP PK. Zeph's going to take a little bit of damage. Mac-10's just looking to farm up the money.
Yeah, this is pretty aggressive on all Mac-10. Pretty confident in their ability here on the T side of Inferno, and we're expecting that money is going to be stacking fat real soon when they push on for this B side. The bomb, though, sitting towards A at the moment.
Yeah, just rolling fat stacks of cash just like Dreamscape. Wish they could have. Unfortunately, they've departed this tournament already. So I think Tommy might be a little bit sad.
Yeah, Tommy would have...
Okay, that is an awesome Molotov coming out from Solo. I think you may have just missed it, but it actually bounced onto top of Boost.
That is very cheeky. It's forced QQ down.
Yeah, so just even the small things, it's looking good right now for MVP. I mean, it can look good, and then when it comes to actual execution, if Signature on the back of these pistols do some damage, it could definitely wreak some havoc. They've given up the B bomb site. Both sides actually have Signature gambling over on the A bomb site instead.
But MVP are going to fall into it. Zeph opens up with Reality. It's going to work out so far as they push and will opt for the round. The world. Cigarettes caught here. Zeph will put him away. HSK getting the assist. And Zion, Genius, will find a second on Rolex, leaving us with QQ God. 1v5 here. Might be able to get one kill, but I don't think the clutch is going to come through.
Yeah, MVP were just banking on the fact that Signature were deciding to stack a bomb site. Instead of just going for a hard B site execute or going for a hard A site, they decided, okay, look, CTs normally don't put more than 2 in jungle. And we can clear that. We can clear that out pretty easily. They smoked Diggity off, and you saw how many CT members were stacked there. MVP then decided to go around the world, because if the CTs are hiding, normally we'll see one in first oranges and second oranges, and that's where the Mac-10s can tear them to shreds. You get in up and close with them. So already a very, very solid start from MVP. Signature just going to be on a much softer eco this round. They're just going to be looking to do some damage, but once again, MVP didn't drop any members just then.
They didn't, and that is going to help as they push forward. Reality changes it immediately in this round. Solo falls, Genius picks up HSK, Zeph, Cigarettes, Zine, 2. That's Rolex and Genius. QQ God, yet again, left alone. It'll be Glow that wraps it up for us. Round number 3 was quick.
Some worrying signs just there, where Signature, they were able to push 1 or 2 people down mid with USBs, and MVP not really responding to the fact there was one at bottom mid. There was still one charging, trying to retake Nana, and just ignoring the one at car. So maybe some communication problems earlier, maybe 2 people getting too frantic and yelling over each other. Just got to settle down right now. They're winning 3-0. You know that you're up against an easier opponent in terms of Signature compared to Order. And so Signature, first buy round, they've got Reality on the AWP already, so let's see if we can make an impact coming forward. You just want to play safe right now as an AWPer in top mid. You can't do much. You can't be peeking the aggressive angles. I mean, you're peeking that, and Solo just with a blinder of a shot. How do you counter that?
You don't. That was crisp, to say the least. Solo putting Reality away. And if MVP take out this 4th, maybe that's an AWP they might like to grab. The way they're playing with the rifles, though, 2 rifles, 3 Mac-10s still, looking to keep going and push the point. No need to buy in this round if they really want to be stacking the cash and pushing the point against Signature.
Yep, they're coming in fast as well. Genius. Oh, Rolex, you don't want to be tagging your own teammate and making them startle. It's going to give it away that the AWP has been retrieved over the A bomb site, and there's one close Diggity. So MVP top mid control. It could boil down very quickly here, Matt.
It certainly could, as MVP look to move towards the site here on A. They're taking their time, lining it up, good shoulder peeks, making sure they get information before committing to it, recognizing that Signature will indeed have a buy here. And there's the utility out. Zeph straight onto site, gets 1, gets 2. Rolex and Genius, but he's caught with the reload. Cigarettes takes him down. HSK with the trade, and we're left with, again, QQ God. An M4 in hand this time, not just his USP. And he is 1v4 MVP PK running away with this map so far.
Yeah, that's the danger of when you lose that opening pick. So we saw Reality go for it, and then Solo just snaps. Oh, there goes Reality and Signature. Then they have to retrieve the AWP, and that's a weakness when you're down at 4 and 5, because Rolex couldn't get a good positioning. If you play Diggity like that, there is no utility to contain the Ts. If the Ts decide to flash in, they decide to throw a smoke grenade, you can't do anything. So you can already see them falling back. They fall back. No one's in pit. No. So even if they were able to get the kill on Zeph and trades, you've still got an Apartments player coming out and just putting so much pressure on. And QQ, talking about pressure, no chance that he can save this M4. MVP, they can give up as many Mac 10s as they want. As a matter of fact, this is an upgrade from their previous round. They had 2 Mac 10s, 3 Mac 10s it was, and they're able to retrieve so many rifles and come forward into this round with a better buy than they started. That's going to be so good for the bank account. And Signature, I think this is a difference in experience and class, and maybe just getting a little bit nervous. They got to go and challenge MVP. You cannot be nervous. You've got to be sitting in those turret positions and just being able to mow down your opponent.
That's it. And looking at the cash here, Zion over 10k. Genius will make a dent, putting Solo down in mid. HSK going to be pushing up. QQ got tagged down to 6 HP over on Nana and will be pulling back onto the B site. Zeph doing a lot of damage there. Zion pushing, finds Reality. And this is not good for Signature. MVP starting another round off strong. And on their anti-eco looking to make this 5-0 HSK, bringing them ever so close with Genius going down as well.
Yeah, so Signature did manage to get the opening pick, but from here on in, they're just going a little bit too over-aggressive. And Zion, that's an uncharacteristic miss from him. It doesn't mean Rolex will be able to get out with a rifle, and now Signature could have really opened things up. I was about to say could have, but QQ, unfortunately, not being able to find any tangos with the Desert Eagle means that it should be MVP up 5-0 very quickly, and Signature will just try to take this AK-47 forward. I feel like it's going to be necessary that they just save these rifles.
Absolutely. Well, they couldn't get another Tango coming through there. There won't be any on their 6. Signature are pulling out to save these AKs. They managed a couple of frags in the round, hence the guns. But this will be good moving forward. They don't have armor to be saving here. It's purely the AKs with the smoke that Rolex is pretty happy with. And of course, you can make the argument about their Deagle and their CZ.
Yeah, I mean, just at the end of the day, Signature was able to do a little bit of damage and just maybe going a little bit too over-aggressive once they got the opening pick. They didn't need to go and find any more opportunities, so to speak. They just had to hold back. And what I want to see coming into their true buy round, because we always say the first buy round, you're lacking grenades. And in Inferno, we know how important incendiary grenades are. You can't spell Inferno without fire, and that's what incendiary grenades bring to the dance floor. So you're going to need those smoke grenades, you're going to need those incendiary grenades, you're going to need some good crossfires as well. That's what we need to see out of Signature coming into this, as well as maybe the ult from Reality doing some damage and just containing Nana.
Nana is such a pivotal point on this map, and I think you're right, the CTs really need to be controlling this. Although MVP's done well to get on A in the last round, Banana has just been too easy for them. This whole map so far has 5 rounds up, so...
Well, that's not a good start. Once again, Reality is the one that's going down, and that's just confidence from Solo. Not only getting the opening pick, he's just sitting there and just going, that's all right, my teammate will pull it out, but look at QQ God still pushing up.
Still pushing aggressively, going to be close here to the boost. Solo up, we'll see QQ God over the top of that smoke there, but he's flashed out, and great flash. QQ will find Zeph, another down in the mix. Being Zion, HSK pushes up, gets damage down. QQ got tagged to 27, and it will be MVP committing to the B site at this stage. 2 here, with the others, of course, still on A, about to start rotating. QQ has been caught, pushing out there for the peak. Solo finds cigarettes, and that's B site open.
Yeah, so even though that was really good from Signature contesting Nana earlier on, yeah, you just got to back out to Signature. Only a single incendiary grenade. The T's still have grenades to work with as well for days. You're going to have to land so many good shots in a row, or maybe for MVP to overstep. And this is a fear now for Signature as well. You can't just walk in like that because you know that PK have got that crossfire already set up. 6-0, this is where MVP can start doing whatever they want.
This is where they run around with away with the half.
Absolutely.
They can run around with the half. They can do whatever they want with it, really.
Yeah, and there's no one from Signature stepping up on the CT side. You can just see that even at Nana, when they were getting the opening picks, just QQ God just needed the confidence to go in. He heard one, just charge in and try to get as many kills as possible. You're down a man already, or I think there was Zion already taken out, so at the most in the situation, you could have just completely dented that with a flashbang. Or regardless, it is what it is. CZs across the field, or EZ75As, as we like to call them. And MVP, just once again, just your normal Nana take.
And that's all they need to be doing at the moment. If it's not broke, don't fix it. They've been able to get 6 rounds, one of them being a very good A. let's keep pushing the point at B on Nana and putting the pressure on. Cigarette's tagged and Rolex goes down to Zion over in Apartments. QQ pushing the smoke here. Zion finding Genius also leaves us with the 3 for Signature and a relatively healthy MVP side. Zeph, QQ down. And now Cigarette's in Reality tagged as he pulls back. No, he's going to push the point here. He gets 1 to follow up from Glow, but Zion out from the balcony will get a trade himself. Solo here to clean it up. Cigarette's coming down as he pushes down Banana.
Yeah, and you can just see in that round, even where there looked like there was a little bit of danger for Signature, maybe to sneak away a few kills and get guns, MVP just relayed that information perfectly and made the appropriate adaptations around the map. So now the third buy round, but so far every single round, it hasn't even been close. It's just been the MVP train so far. And Signature, I don't know what you can do at this stage. You've stacked the 3 Nana, MVP still being able to exploit it. Now what are you going to do this time around? Do you try to go down and play defensive on the bomb site? Didn't work for you. MVP were able to crack it open.
And the thing is, like, mid control didn't work for them either. They had an AWP watching mid. Reality got 1 beat by an AK popping up. So I think for this, it's going to need to be the lift in aim, Jules, and we might get that with Cigarettes pushing Banana here, jumping for the peak over the short wall. Not going to see anything as it is heavily smoked, but Zion will find Genius again. MVP opening up the round with a frag.
Yep, and once again, it's just the informational play that MVP are making. So as soon as they notice that all this aggression comes out of Nana, they know the extremity is going to be taken away, and that is so much damage done by HSK on the AWP. It's not going to kill the CTs for now, but it's going to give a great confidence boost to MVP that a B site is the correct site to be hitting. 5 versus 4. Zion's taking out the Apartments control, so Signature have to fall back on the A-bomb site. Now that's what I want to be seeing coming out from Signature. You've got to take some risk, and QQ God is rewarded with 2 kills, and they've actually swung it back in their favor.
This leaving MVP PK to decide what they're going to do with the map B. Yes, they could push onto it. They would have Cigarettes contesting them. And that looks like the preferred choice here. A, they just have no information on, as they've had the play on Banana so far in this round. And with 30 seconds left, this looks like the choice to make.
Yep, so these grenades should give it away. We're going to see the rotation coming out from QQ God and Cigarette. Silenced M4. This is actually preferable because it makes it very difficult for the Ts to suss out. 20 seconds. They have to make a move on. They need to move fast and Glow. He's just going directly for the plant inside the smoke. I love this from MVP. They decided to use their smoke just to get the bomb plant down, then play the retake.
It's a smart move, but Glow will be spotted. Zion picking up Rolex. It's the push. HSK will see QQ God, and he's going to get that pick. Zion on the rotate, coming well around the map. HSK needs to get this pick, but won't. Reality watching it. Zion will find it. Reality trades it back, but there is going to be plenty of time. He's got a kit and 2 great frags there to hold the round. Signature put up there first.
Yeah, and Zion just coming in just maybe a little bit too late where Reality was able to get the trade. So you can see that there was already pressure on the Ts afterwards. They managed to get the bomb plant down, but losing 1 to Cigarettes meant that the retake was then going to always be against them. But MVP have tons of money to buy with. The Signature have only taken 1 gun forward. That's only the AWP, so yeah, they can still buy up here, but we're seeing some of the incendiary grenades as well as a lack of kits across the board, and that's where it starts becoming scary for Signature because they needed those to retake Nana. They needed those to hold on to the top mid control. And MVP, it's just going to be a matter of same old. They just feel like, oh, it's a little bit in the execution that went awry. We're just going to fix that up, and we can just continue on our winning ways.
Another thing for Signature to be concerned of course, is having their loss bonus reset. They're on the CT side, that's hard enough. But if MVP can take this round away, the rest of this first half is going to be hard-pressed for them. As we see the push, again, for Banana control, QQ God contesting this here, playing at sandbags, will move back down towards the site once that Molotov clears.
But look at this double Apartments tag from the CT side. Signature do not want Zion controlling this area, so they decided to stack 2 in here. It's going to be Genius and Rolex, and Genius, he's very, very good at playing the close quarters combat. Now, at the same time, Cigarettes has managed to take down that player in solo and got a Nana control, so this should be a pretty easy cleanup for the A-bomb site holders. This is much better from Signature. Go aggressive, rely on your crossfires and aim, and force MVP into a dire situation.
That's it. Now with them playing around the world, it's 2v5. QQ God going to be coming up on HSK and will get the shot. Advantage absolutely with Signature here. 50 damage dealt to them. And Zeph, the last man standing. QQ God will spot him out, gets behind the pillar. Zeph is caught out, and QQ God managed to find a second in this round. A very healthy round for Signature, and this is the start of something good, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. They just got to do the same adaptation for Signature. Start going aggressive. Make sure that MVP PK can't take areas for granted. We saw Nana Solo got punished for being by himself. I'm fairly certain it was a flashbang play from the CT side that enabled QQ to push in and make sure there were no more Ts in Banana. Whereas at the same time, still playing aggressive at Apartments. That's where you want to be playing a Signature. Go heavy, go aggressive. But MVP, they need to figure out how to counter this now as well. Genius coming up to on top of the quad boost. Now, I did see MVP molly it off earlier, so it is a little bit risky, especially if MVP do want to try to take this diggity control and collapse on the A bomb site. But so many numbers in Apartments makes me think that this is just going to be Apartments drop into diggity. And this is the problem, because Reality as well as Genius are here. There's 3 there, but no one's watching Apartments. And
with QQ God backing it up, playing from jungle as well, this is going to be a bit of a blender unless MVP can really make their entries count. Cigarettes also pushing down B, has given them information they are not playing here, guys. They have to be playing for A. Reality going to miss his shot, though. Zeph will take him down. Reality does get Zine. Rolex going huge with Zeph and Glow. QQ God picks up Solo, and we're left with HSK, who Genius will wrap up. A nice AWP picked up. Double AWP here for Rolex and QQ God. And Signature will find a 3rd round.
Yeah, and once again, this just boils down to the Nana informational play, and I'm loving it for Signature at the moment. They are down 2-7, but you cannot come back without making a few risks. And we see that solo Nana take, and it goes, hang on a moment, there's no one in Banana. MVP PK normally play people in Nana at this time. It's going to be an A site execute. All right, let's stack top mid. We've still got this control. And although Reality goes down very quickly, no one checks the quad position. And it's just really good rifle work coming out from the members of Signature to allow them to get that 3rd round. And now MVP, they're going to have to dig a little bit deeper. They can't just give up Nana control for free, because Signature, you can see, they're getting a little bit antsy. They want to take this Nana control off the Ts to force them to be honest. And then it allows the rest of Signature to play aggressive on the A bomb site instead. And we're going to see a boiler boost coming out this time as well from the CT side, which is very, very powerful. They've been adapting changes time and time again.
It's the push, though, and Zeph is caught. Flashed out, Cigarettes playing from behind the sandbags, gets the kill. The boiler boost not going to do much initially, but it could help here for Zion, who's going to be pushing out now. Checks down, and there's the smoke in jungle. It'll be Reality on the rotate round for A to hold here. No need to heavy play for B, especially when QQ God's got an AWP and he's going to take down HSK. Another might come into his crosshairs here. Solo playing close, and that'll be it. Bomb dropped will make the call, and Signature will rotate in preparation. QQ God doing this himself. That's another one. Zine, thank you very much for giving him 4.
Yep, and this is where Signature, they had a really rough start. Now they're believing themselves, and well, QQ God, what can you say? Just holding the angle on MVP PK. Individually peeking in, you cannot be doing this. Where's the flashbangs? Where's the double peeks? Come on, you've got your members there. You've got to be trading out. You can't be walking one by one and assuming that he's going to be missing a shot. None of Signature are really missing their shots at the moment, and just the constant micro adaptations as well. I'm loving it from Signature. They're playing beyond a team compared to the experience, but now they've got to hold off some Nana aggression. This is going to be very important. Cigarettes. Oh, he's doing a good job alongside with QQ God. Nana's just now a no-go zone for MVP, which is really problematic.
It's a smoothie now. It's fully blended. We saw not only did QQ God get a kill for himself, but he tagged through short wall, and that helped with Cigarettes to get his 3. It's the push now, and Reality will finish it, finding one for himself. Signature take a 5th, and they're really starting to look in shape this round.
Yeah, this is where you're just getting confidence in the back of the players. You're getting pumped. Down 0-7. Now you're starting to get all the kills flowing in your favor. And man, Cigarette's holding sandbags with a silenced M4. The ball's on this player.
Yeah.
I would never hold sandbags with a silenced M4 because just of the clip capacity, because of the inability to get that multi-kill. But Signature just had the adaptation. MVP, now they're starting to struggle. They forced up in that round because they had enough to buy AKs in this one. But it just feels like Signature are reading them very well, just setting up the aggression at the right places and just playing to their game style. MVP have not adapted, and as a result, on the back of good CT play, this is a much closer half. And as we're starting to tick away, MVP are locked down in Nana. QQ God's able just to sit there with the AWP and control the angle. What are MVP going to do here? How are they going to take the A-bomb site back?
It's the ultimate question, and I honestly don't have the answer for them right now. Signature, I mean, they said it in their pre-game interview that they trust each other and they pull off weird plays. Well, I would agree. I'd never play sandbags with an M4A1S.
And look at this!
Look at the push from Cigarettes. Out the smoke, takes full banana control and gets solo in mid.
like, it's just so ballsy coming out from Signature. You're versing such an experienced lineup, and we may say weird or chance plays, but that's why you do it, because look at all the information they got in MVP, not retaking none, and now Rolex coming out to try to join the party. It's not going to work out. They're still coming A side.
They certainly are. Reality on the site, picks up Zeph, playing it with the AWP. Genius from Graveyard gets one, gets two, but HLSK will reply. QQ God on the site with Rolex and Reality, all converging on HSK to finish it. And Signature now 1 round away from tying it up and 2 rounds from taking the advantage at the half.
Yeah, and Ian at this moment downstairs might just be cradling his head going, what is going on, MVP? He's going to have to be getting his little MVP blanket and just hugging it a little bit tighter because the T side has just looked lackluster. It started off so well. They're landing all their shots and just going in. And then as soon as Signature pushed back, there's been no response. It's just been a complete whitewash so far for Signature. I mean, maybe MVP are being taken a little bit off guard, but they've got time to work with. They can slow things down. They're just so antsy. They just want to jump into the action. You don't need to be doing that. You are still up ahead in this. You need to be playing like you're better than the opposing team, and they aren't.
No, I mean, I think it's little dog syndrome we've got here, that the bark was pretty big and it started off really aggressive, but now Signature are fighting back. QQ God picking up Zeph. It's an opener for Signature. The response comes from Zine, and they will play around the world here into CT spawn, looking to take B. Cigarettes will be there and is waiting. They're not committing to the full round the world though. They're waiting for Signature to pull the trigger and get caught out on the rotate.
Yeah, you can see Signs just waiting for maybe a CT member to be rotating. And once again, Cigarettes, normally you'd never see a B site player hold here. But Signature need to make risks, and they decide to push Reality all the way through Nana. This allows Cigarettes just to be watching into the CT, and this could be a massive mowdown right now coming out from Cigarettes.
Zine, lowest health, and he'll be picking it first. HSK spots Cigarettes and is going to get that first kill with the AWP. Reality misses the shot. The bomb not dropped yet, and we'll have to pull back to wait for his teammates to come help him down. Banana, we do have control here for MVP of the site for the moment before Signature launch their retake bomb. Not planted as it comes through the church. Playing from coffins here. HSK trying to find information out. Zine still playing this here. Aggressive on low health. If he goes down, at least he gets info. HSK sees Rolex and picks him straight off the shelf. Reality looking for his chance to get an AWP kill here in this round. But I don't think it's going to happen just yet. Zine playing up top. Reality not watching as he pushes. Zine with the CZ takes Reality down. Genius will reply, but Solo's got Reality's back.
Yeah, so MVP, it's coming a little bit late, but they did find a weakness in jungle where QQ got and trying to hold it with the AWP. That was Signature's undoing. Even though he gets 1 kill, he gives it over to HSK, and you can see MVP. They're using the rest of him as bait. It's just bait and switch. The AWP is able to do so much work, and Signature just maybe not switching up the AWP and rifle line and just not getting into construction as well, not respecting the fact that the Ts can be collapsing is their ultimate downfall. But they won so many rounds in a row convincingly. They've got money in this round, and MVP, they're still on the back foot, I feel like, because once again, look at that. Just instant aggression from Signature. They get 1 pick. They've got the numbers advantage. You fall back and play turret. Oh, and they just go aggressive in Nana again. And Cigarettes, he's going to get a kill. He's looking to continue the killing spree. HSK finally goes, no, you cannot do this anymore.
MVP have decided that they're going to fight aggression with aggression, as Signature did to them. They've found their groove and they've worked it out last round. Let's see if they can continue it in this one. They are 2 members down. We're left with HSK, Zeph, and Glow.
Yeah, so I hope for MVP right now, they slow it down and they try to make sure Signature don't... You got to make Signature antsy at this stage. We've got Glow all the way at top brackets. He can start throwing a few grenades, maybe force a rotation out, and then you group up and hit the B bomb site. You can throw a fake for now. It's not going to draw a rotation because the CTs, they have utility. And you can see this. No one's being drawn out of position. Signature are just holding firm.
The most we had was Rolex moved into library. Glow will catch him out from there. But it wasn't much. Reality pushing here. Gets 1, gets 2. And we are left with Glow playing from CT. Reality, very good on that AWP. Has spotted Glow. Misses the first, and Glow will send bullets straight back at him. QQ God playing for Con, looking to see if Glow's going to come from Church. But it's not going to happen. He's going to back into Genius, who's playing the short wall. And he's going to fall. That's the half. Signature do manage to get a 7th round on the board.
Yeah, a very, very great, I should say, a great half for Signature. They were down 0-7, and since then, trading 1 for 7 back on the CT side. Really impressive stuff. And once again, they were talking about Cigarettes being the star player. I thought Genius was going to be the star player, but QQ got also stepping up the B-bomb side. Just the constant informational pushes, as well as just smart aggression. I'm absolutely loving it from Signature. They've got to be backing themselves up in these kind of situations, and they're doing it. They have nothing to lose right now. And now coming to the T side, this is up for MVP to really dig deep and try to find the solution, because it feels like that all the shots are going in the favor of Signature. Even though they dropped 1 anti-eco, normally I'd be lambasting them for it, but it just felt like the momentum. It was just a small blip in the step for Signature to actually come back into this.
That's right, and it's going to be the pistol round here. Let's see if Signature can really come back. Solo isn't going to let that happen just yet. Picks up Genius and Rolex. QQ God going to put one straight back in him. Cigarettes Reality and QQ God, the 3 up against the 4 on MVP PK. As they're going to push up Banana now, they're clearing. They're making sure they pop shots in every single spot. Down Banana, they don't want anyone from MVP sitting there waiting for them. Zeph gets tagged and now smoked out. HSK playing up top, P2K in hand. He will take down Cigarettes. Zeph in the smoke, helping him out with Reality. And it's left us QQ God.
Yep, QQ God was the outstanding player of the CT side, but with no armor, no other utility, and just being boxed in, he's going to have to rely on a huge individual effort if he is able to, A, just do further damage to the CT side, as well as B, get the bomb plant down and win the round. So it's going to be very difficult. He's just going to let time tick away and just let MVP PK maybe just overthink the situation. But once again, it's just MVP. They decided, all right, let's just get our individual aim flowing again. Solo got 4 kills on the T side of the pistol. Now getting almost 3 kills. He dinked a player, and that's almost as good as a kill in the pistol round. So, yep.
QQ watching the angle here for Dark. HSK shoulder peeking here. They haven't seen one another. Glow playing at New Box. QQ taking his time, checking every angle possible. Wants to be careful here. Going to look for HSK. HSK might spot him now, and has. Pulls back to hold the line. 13 seconds on the clock. QQ God 1v4. Doesn't really have much time. And Zeph behind has spotted him. Says he's coming in. He gets Glow. And he'll look for the plant. Fake. HSK going to peek him and will get the kill. 4 seconds left on the clock. And MVP PK win the round.
Yep, so it did let time boil down a little bit too far, but a good crack at it nevertheless. Wasn't able to find the targets that he needed, and Signature should be forcing up in this. I feel like they just get your armor and your pistols and go fast somewhere. Actually, they're just going to have a bit of a talk about this, which is not too bad. Just
take
make
your
sure,
time.
Yeah, make sure everyone's on the same page, and maybe they saw a little bit of MVP versus Inferno, settle down some of the members, and just go, all right, let's just slow down the communication and make sure that we talk about the correct things.
Absolutely. When the scoreline's only 9 and 7, you're down by those 2, they've got time to talk here. They've only used 1. This is their first attack we're seeing come through, so burn them. Burn through them. Actually have a discussion before you try and take the lead here on Inferno.
Yep, so just a brief interlude for the action, but and what a half from Signature. That was definitely unexpected on the CT side. MVP just maybe just slipping off the pedal a little bit. We said that they need to bring their A game. You can't underestimate Signature in these scenarios, because we've seen so many times an underdog just step up and perform beyond what we expect, and this may be another scenario of it. MVP can't be caught off guard. A lot of grenades. Oh, they're committing through this Molotov. Oh, the C-sets! The C-sets are so good!
They're so good! Genius and QQ God get stolen on HSK, but Zeph, the Molotov damage, the HE damage is enough for him to just come in and get some taps. He'll follow it up with Cigarettes, who goes down. 3 for Zeph here, and he might look for a couple more. He's going to move back and reload. Glow popping the incendiary out. Zeph sitting on that bomb, and Rolex sharp on the boost over short wall. Glow will clean it up. It's a full house with 3 Zeph and 2 Glow here in round number 17.
It looked very scary for MVP. Some individual brilliance coming out from Signature on their players, but unable to convert the advantage that they initially got, which meant that MVP PK were able to calibrate. They had 3 over to Nana early on, and that was their saving grace with Zeph there with a UMP. If he wasn't there, that was a B site lost. Oh, Signature are still relatively healthy as well. They've got guns in their hands and a little bit of grenades picked up, and the retake could have been scary. So danger nullified from MVP PK. Going to be looking to settle the bank accounts this round much more better.
Time to consolidate their checking.
Pretty much.
MVP PK, they've got a couple of SMGs again, Zion and HSK with those. They have pushed aggressively up Banana here. Great tap from Rolex. Going to tag down Solo. Zeph cops it as well, but he will get the frag. Zeph and Solo will pull back just a little bit. Solo going to be moving back straight onto site with Zeph holding there. He's got plenty of HP, so he can sit there at car for now. As Signature don't really gain much ground anywhere. They've got mid control, but at the moment, that's not going to mean much.
Yeah, you still got to get out through top brackets, and you can't really take top brackets control if HSK decides to go just on a journey to top up the said bank account. Coming to Australia isn't very cheap, so just getting a little bit of extra cash so you can go enjoy the sights, especially coming back for IM Sydney for MVP.
That's it. Going to be, you know, just seeing what he can, get that extra travel money in the bank account, and Zion's going to follow suit, taking Reality. 11-7 scoreline. MVP doing quite well at this stage. Pushing this out to a 4-round lead here on their CT side. How are you feeling about this, though, Karath? This is looking good for MVP to take this away? Yeah,
absolutely. They've built a bit of a bank account right now, but for Signature, this is where the true test comes out for them. They've got the buy around. Reality's on the AWP, no head armor. They have limited utility. What are they going to do here? They're just going to rely on the aim, or do they have some overarching game scheme that allows them to try to take control of Nana, try to take control of this A bomb site or top mid, or they're just going to explode out fast? Oh, these grenades. That's already put a great dent in their plan, but they're going straight through the smoke. It's not going to work.
My lord, Zeph. I thought he was going to get more there, but he's picked up cigarettes and been immediately traded by Genius. Solo going to be watching the hard angle for short wall, and he will be smoked out. So not going to be seeing anyone else there for now, as Signature can take their time to push up here. He's ready for the boost. He looks for the wall bang on Reality, but he has moved past. Solo firing him out. No harm in doing that if they're not going to aggressively push him and take advantage of that rebolting time. Now is the time for Signature to take the push through Banana with one. That's going to be Rolex, who's playing this in apps, and he'll look for the cleanup crew here. If Signature can get out onto the B site and get a couple of heads in their pockets on the way, then that's going to be a great position for Rolex to be in.
Yeah, similarly though, Rolex might need to do a good job of trying to secure the position. Genius, he's just walked out through the smoke. How's this happened? HSK has to drop the utility. It doesn't matter. Genius is already out here looking to bang heads.
He's right there. Solo will find him really quickly on the flick, but he can't quite pick up anyone else yet. He'll follow with Reality now, but QQ God playing on the left-hand side will take him down. Zine and Glow here playing for the CT. The bomb will be planted. QQ God down to 13 HP. Glow tagging him with the spray through the smoke. QQ God playing for the push through connector from the church. No one going to be pushing into his sights yet. They're waiting for time. Getting utility out here. Here comes a great incendiary off the skybox, but QQ God's picked up Zion. It's left to Glow, who's playing from mid. His shot and revealed himself. He gets one, he gets two, and he will indeed. If he can find the bomb, he can get this one.
Yeah, that's some of the inexperience coming in from Signature, where you see Rolex feels very antsy, wanted to go through the smoke to help his teammate. Look, QQ God, you're up in a 2-on-1. You can just relax there and allow QQ God to just go down, and then you sell out your teammate, right? So It sounds like you're backstabbing, but you're stabbing them in the front. That's what true friends do. For MVP, losing the B site control is not too worrying for them. It was aggression once again. We normally expect the Nana aggression coming out from MVP.
Yeah.
Zeph is only able to get one. Look, that's fine. They rotate one early across. What was dangerous, though, was that if Signature was able to get the kill onto Solo a lot earlier and then flood the bomb site, we could have been seeing a different story. As it is, Signature just going to be on the pistols, mid-play coming out, but MVP, they're ready for this.
They certainly are. Utility coming out from both sides here. Rolex pushes up with the Tech 9 sprays. Reality tagged down from another HE here. Zion playing from apps is going to be looking to push around this corner here and look just to the left of the cart. HSK finds Genius. Reality gets HSK with the answer, but Zion finds 3 for himself. Cigarettes stops him, but Glow will finish the round.
And this is building on the point where we were talking about Zion when he was versing Order on Inferno. Just has the right idea when to push in and clear out the angles. It seems very risky in a pistol round that you do decide to go into apartments. But with a flashbang, with the information given, you identify immediately, look, this is most likely going to be a top mid play with the pistols just trying to break out defenses. Get that apartment's control. Most likely only going to be one there. And then you've got the full control of apartments. You've got control of balconies, so you can just sit there and just mow them all down. And you can feel safe doing so because you checked apartments and made sure it's clear. Good stuff from MVP. They're very, very close to taking the first map now, and this is your stock standard Nana take. Zeph, I swear I've seen him kill multiple people through the smoke, and a Signature. This is very Eclipse-esque, where you try to get the machine gun roll working. You get the flashbang through, you get the kill.
It's traded back. Cigarettes goes down to Solo's AWP. Another kill for him on Banana. A bomb left towards mid. Genius can go back there and grab that now. Reality playing with the AWP, looking for a pick at the top of mid. No one going to be there to wait for him, though. As MVP, they're playing a little bit further back. They're playing around the corners. You've got Zyne there. Classic playing on the balcony. Or balcony entrance, I should say.
Yeah, it's such a
floating between.
It's such a strong position because you normally notice that if they've got one lurking, you see that grenade, he suspects that they are trying to take control of it, but Solo, trying to make a solo play. And Signature not going to give up, they're still committing on the A-bomb site.
They certainly are. It's the trade straight through there. Zyne with a push gets Genius. He's going to be pushed himself by Rolex, who will find a second on Glow. HSK takes the watch away, and QQ God will close it out. Signature do finally win a round here, and they go to 8-13. It was messy, but they pulled it through.
Yeah, I don't know why the Signature boys aren't really firing up on the back of that 1v1 victory for QQ God, because you finally put them around on the board. It may have been scrappy, it may have been messy, but it's giving you some indication of how MVP are playing and what your strategies are doing, if they're working or not. So Signature, they're trying to punish MVP's Nana control by doing something like what Eclipse did. You flash through and you try to take control of it. And it worked an absolute charm most of these times. 1-for-1 trades. MVP can't get that Nana control. And the only reason why I feel like MVP did manage to come back so close was because Solo made that solo play to completely secure the ace or the B site for the CT side.
I completely agree. Let's see if the B site can be secured for Signature this time as they play up the top of Banana. They're not going to be pushing yet, waiting to see if their compatriots over in Apps can clear anything out. Glow has seen Rolex there, elbow peaked. He's going to push him now. Rolex tagged down. Glow needs to reload, and he shows himself a little too hard. Rolex gets pushed, though, and it's that CZ at close range. QQ God on the refrag takes him away. HSK and Solo pulling back now, and this will give Signature the opportunity to push onto the site unless they come back quick enough.
Yeah, so MVP run off and they realize, oh, they're not committing. It's only Zeph, and he's going to see these smoke grenades. He's going to try and find an opening with the CZ. Signature back off. They don't know if MVP stacked it. It's just mind games between the two sides right now. And MVP may actually come out on top. They've got more members here on the A-bomb site, and they might be just walking straight into a stack. Oh, dear.
It's the pre-fire from QQ God who gets 1-2, Zyne Solo, and we'll look for a third at Library, but Reality's already covered it, leaving them with Zeph. QQ God will see him here, has called it, and Reality will get the kill. A 9th round for Signature now, and this is starting to look better.
Absolutely. I was a little bit scared just then walking to a CT stack where MVP had the correct idea where to put their members, but MVP, they're not going to be too upset about it. Solo's got the MP9, but we know how much he loves that weapon. I love that weapon as well, so it's definitely going to be workable in these hands at Nana. Close quarters, you're mowing them down, getting some extra cash. But Signature now, a little bit of confidence on the T side. They're going, all right, we're doing the right thing. We're getting these rounds. We're resetting their economy. Let's just keep up the good work and slowly just get the rounds that we need to. Don't let the opportunity slip like we did earlier, and just roll forward to a victory.
Genius and Cigarettes, as they push up, take a lot of damage. Down to 28 and 60 HP, respectively. Solo playing at the back of Sandbags. We'll be looking to peek here with Zeph, should there be a push. But HSK's got the coverage with the AWP. Solo getting the assist there. And he's now pushed up towards the short wall. He's hugging that tight. Signature going to be pulling out here. The Glow, great shot of peek with the flash out. Is going to know that Cigarette is playing up here. Zyne playing on the high rails, waiting for the push from Signature to come his way. Solo picks up QQ God. They're going to back down mid, and make sure they take him down. Cigarettes with the sharp aim to do so.
Yeah, so now Solo has started to figure out what's going on. Zyne should be able to pick up one here. Ooh, dinks one down. Rolex, that's a critical kill because it forces MVP to actually move more members over to the A-bomb site. They just need to group up and go B. But what I was saying is that Solo started to figure out the timing where it goes, okay, Signature should give up this Nana position at this particular point in time. And as a result, you can see he pushes in and gets a kill. All up does have to hold this now.
And he can do it, but he won't. Reality gets the pick. Left to HSK and Glow, who will be playing from CT. HSK the first here. And he's going to be checking these hard angles with the AWP. Reality, the spray, takes Glow to 17, and they'll pull out. MVP do not want to give up these guns. They want to take them through to the next round, and Signature will get double digits up.
Yep, so Signature slowly once again just doing the bulk of the work, and MVP have tried to match Signature's aggression at Nana with aggression of their own, getting 3 there. HSK has come over and has started to assist with the AWP because Solo didn't have enough cash to buy into it, or buy the AWP. He had the MP9. So MVP, I think this is a good time to take a tactical pause. Try to figure out what's going on over at B. Try to figure out what Signature's game plan is at the moment, and also figure out where you want to be putting HSK's AWP in this game. You don't really necessarily want to give Signature more rounds. We've seen it bleed away before for MVP. They don't want to let Inferno bleed away again.
Need a Band-Aid. Patch the wound now before it gets worse.
I'd say suture it before you just Band-Aid it, because if it's a big cut, I don't think a Band-Aid's going to cut it. No pun intended.
We want to be stopping the hemorrhaging right now.
Absolutely, and that's what MVP needs to be doing.
Absolutely. It's the push now, and HE's going to take Genius and Cigarettes. HSK watching for the second mid, but Rolex is already round, and he's sitting at the barrel on stairs. Signature fighting for positioning here on Banana, but Rolex will spot HSK with that gap in the smoke. Pushes around, and the tunnel vision of that scope is going to be HSK's downfall. Yeah,
Rolex just jumps up, and normally I don't think HSK was expecting a member to be there because he missed the timing of Rolex on the cross and Solo. You can't really be dry peeking like that. So the CT is just going to look to try to maybe save this AWP. So Rolex has got a really big job right now to try to make sure the CTs can't come in and grab the AWP.
He's done his job effectively so far. That's Zine down with the rotate from MVP of Zeph and Glow to push towards the B site after the aggression has been spotted on Banana. Genius will be looking to get a kill here if he can, but for now, he just needs to hold. It's enough. Glow will take him down, but they've got the information. Nobody else is here right now, so then a quick rotate to A. Signature already have this on lockdown. Utility out to prevent any vision from stopping the bomb plant, and now it's MVP with 2 members for the retake. Zeph only on 21 HP and no armor.
Oh, QQ, you don't need to be pushing it at this stage. Come on, mate. Your economy isn't in the best shape. Take all the AK-47s, even Genius going down, that should be the call. Okay, look, MVP is saving these rifles at B. Let's just back off. You don't have enough utility to contest these corners. MVP are going to be on the eco, so they're going to be very, very interested in taking these rifles forward. They're going to have a buy next round anyway. You don't need to be risking your money. It's not worth the trade-off. Don't do it.
Absolutely not.
No cigarettes.
Cigarettes is looking for it. I mean, look, if he can get it, sure, well done. But the risk is there as he jumps onto the coffin. Not going to be spotting anyone pushing him. And Zeph and Glow will manage to take their guns through to round number 25 with a scoreline of 13-11. MVP PK are still in the lead. But I really think they need a surgeon.
Yeah, this is where is the tactical pause coming out? They should just take a little bit of a breather and just reset the thought processes and make sure they're not overthinking it too much as well. I know that sounds ironic, where it's like, hang on a moment, how can you be thinking about it but not overthink it?
Not at all, my friend. Take the time to have a breather.
Yeah.
You know, do some late map yoga for a few seconds. Take those breathing exercises in and reset the mindset as we come here. Round 25, this is really important for MVP. They don't have a lot of cash left.
Wow, Genius, you can't be sitting in this Molotov for too long. He's just going in. He's just going in like a madman. That's not going to work because you've got protocols for MVP to stop that aggression, and you can see Genius is going to be stopped in his tracks, and that puts Signature down 1 member, allows control of that Nano. We were talking about how Signature took control of Nano. MVP doing the same, not losing a single member this time, but Zine!
He's been the king of apartments, but not anymore.
No, Rolex just coming out, getting a very critical impact kill. And this is scary now.
Oh, yeah. I'm scared of Solo from Signature right now. He's going to spot Reality and get the tag with 51 damage dealt. He'll drop back towards CT, hold this next line, and he's playing that well. Takes the shot, moves back. He's got the time for it playing these longer angles. The flash out, he'll spot the elbow, but he's not going to fire off. And QQ God backing out away from that a little because he didn't bait a shot, so there's no point pushing it, especially when Signature have gained ground here on A. You've got HSK playing in the pit, and you've got Glow on site. Signature just waiting for all members to get prepared to really execute here on A. Glow watching for Library, has seen that smoke come through. HSK gets cigarettes as he looks to push, but Reality has the response. Glow picks up Rolex, and Reality One-man turret here on the site. It's left to QQ God for the 1v3 clutch. If he wants to take out the round, he pushes out with the Glock in hand, looking for Glow here. He's going to have burst on. He gets a hit, but it's not going to be enough. Glow will put him away, and MVP PK pushed to 14 rounds up on the board.
And that was just down to a much needed individual play coming out from Glow as well. Just able to get all the kills, and Signature, their last member, may be better off coming with him through Tiggity. He wanted to lurk and cut off the rotation, but you can cut off the rotation all right, but if you don't have the bomb plant down, it's not going to be very, very good. So Signature going to just be scratching their heads a little bit, and this is where you want to be saving all the AKs forward, because you can see they're down to their final buy, and if MVP take this round, that's it. You're going to be on pistols, and you never want to be on pistols in the final round where you're looking at the you're staring down the barrel of the map defeat. You always want to be trying to contest with the AK-47s.
That's right. You want to be contesting with the best available to you. And we're waiting here for Signature. They're looking for picks, so they've got some good spread here in apartments as they go to push to the top of mid. HSK will take down Reality, and again, drop back, moves to Archers, and now moving back towards the A side itself. Zeph clearing out Banana here, getting the CT aggression coming on, making sure we have a lot of information available for the rest of his team. It will be Rolex that's waiting there on stairs for him to push. He's playing this back, expecting that aggression as well. Those micro adjustments that you were mentioning before.
Yeah, so Signature, they just have one containing Nana right now, but they don't have Nana control. They don't have A-site control. This is starting to be really scary. Okay, QQ just walks out a balcony because no one's watching it. HSK does get the trade, but this does force the rotation out, but Zeph's got close range. He can mow them all down, but he can't do so. It's now up to Solo. Appropriate that he is the solo man holding the site right now. He's done damage. He's fallen back. He's waiting for his teammates.
He certainly is. Cigarettes and Rolex tagged. Solo did very well to get damage dealt, but he wasn't able to secure the frags. And that's enough done, though. Solo will pick up Cigarettes. He'll finish Rolex with the P250. Rolex did get Glow, but Glow was just bait there, ready for Solo to push us on to match point here on Inferno, 15-11 for MVP PK.
Yeah, and it's looking good for them now. They've finally managed to find the winning groove, which is, all right, we can take this Nana control because, once again, they made the changes, they noticed what Signature was doing and played accordingly. And Signature have not been able to find solutions since, and that's the difference in experience when you encounter so many scenarios in your practice, your hypothetical scenarios, your theory. They don't have enough, and this is why it's showing right now. So Zine, look at this. You normally don't expect Zine to be here. He might be able to get one or two, depending on how the trade goes forward. I mean, they should be checking this corner. They will be checking it. Cigarettes comes out on top. That's the surprise.
4 HP, but that's still on top. He got the frag and he's still alive.
Because look how much utility he's got. That's so critical to be coming onto the A-bomb site. You don't have that utility when your man goes down. This A-bomb site could be a big problematic thing. Now they're busting out together.
HSK picks up Reality. Glow will find Rolex, but QQ God is there to get one for himself. Zeph pushing through from Archers. He's here with HSK, and it'll be Solo that gets the slow rotate from B to A. All that utility coming into big play here for the post-plant hold for Signature. They've only got 3 members up, but QQ God has been able to grab an M4 from one of the bodies. A frag grenade in hand for Cigarettes. Hopefully he can use that
hopefully
before
not to
he goes
kill him.
down.
Yeah, hopefully not to nade himself because he's down to 1 HP. The CTs actually have just backed out. They've taken too long, and Signature have bought enough time with the smoke grenades. So that's a big round for Signature because it not only does a little bit of damage to the CT economy by taking 2 rifles off, it also gives them now a bit of a lifeline. Cigarettes has already lost his life, so I'm just going to be dancing around the bomb site.
Whee! Cigarettes is he's giving into it, but he did have one of those rifles. Genius. Unable to grab one here. Couldn't get back on the site in time after the detonation. We are still on match point in his Signature with hopes and dreams of making this overtime. 12-15 currently, and now we see MVP PK finally bring out a tactical pause.
Yeah, they're looking at the money and going, we can't actually buy into this. We've got 2 orbs. Is that what we need, firstly? Okay, so what's going on here?
Maybe a tactical, maybe a technical, it seems. As
a tactical.
The tactical?
Yep.
Okay.
It was a tac pause into a technical.
Okay, it's not technical?
It was a tactical, then made into a technical.
We'll start with the A? Yeah, we'll start. Okay, that's fair.
I mean, I've seen odder things in this world where I've seen a technical pause being called by, or a tactical pause being called by a player typing TACH.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Tac. Beautiful. Well, look, there's stranger things that could happen. We could see Signature really pull this back for an overtime. That I don't think that would be as strange. I think that's definitely possible.
Yeah, I mean, at this particular point in time, Signature, they've got to be firing up. I know it's been a long day for them, but they've got to be cheering each other up right now. I mean, technical pause, you can't talk that much, but we saw we saw the Dreamscape boys the other day, where they just seem to be having an absolute laugh as well.
I'm not even sure the Dreamscape boys, like, I sat and watched those guys when I wasn't on, and they just sat there laughing.
I asked them about the story afterwards. It was a good story.
It was a good story?
It was a great story, but unfortunately, it's not broadcast friendly. So,
okay, no, we'll save that for another time.
I mean, this is not what you want to be doing a Signature at the moment. Like, you're focusing on whatnot, but I haven't seen any big fire-up moments. We're talking about land. You need to be shouting. You need to be going, yes, this is the point where we take it back. They've been pretty quiet so far. I'm not sure if that's the energy starting to run out or if they're starting to not believe in themselves. But you've got to back yourself in. You got to back yourself in with conviction right now.
You do.
You're down 12-15. Sorry for cutting you off, Matt.
No,
you're down 12-15, but you've got the buy rounds to work with. You can also, you've noticed success in the A-bomb site. So maybe you go back to the A-bomb site, you clear it out better this time. Maybe use that smoke grenade for jungle, push the CTs back, get that motor smoke and just bust onto the bomb site. QQ God's just being a god at the moment on the T side. Utilize him as your main at striking force and then just forget about Nana. Just maybe leave Rolex there lurking, just making sure that the CTs can't push forward, but just give up on Nana at this stage. Normally I say take Nana control, but they just don't seem close to taking it, and that's a real issue.
The thing is that Cigarettes for Signature as well has been the counter to Zine. Zine was the apps king for the start of this CT side for MVP, and Cigarettes has been beating him here consistently, even with a CZ. So get him in here, make use of it. And we'll see Genius's try for it. HSK playing a very aggressive AWP here. He'll smoke so he can get back. He gets tagged down. Cigarettes left on 19 as he's also tagged. And this is not looking good for Signature. One man down and a very large tag on Cigarettes. Rolex also at 45 HP. MVP PK, only person to be concerned at all is HSK, and he's already got to kill this round. He's done at least his job.
Yeah, he's got to kill from a phenomenal angle. I've never, ever seen anyone hold an AWP from that position because of how vulnerable it is. But he gets one kill, he's able to hop out and just do more damage, where Cigarettes is down to 19 HP, and Signature going, hang on a moment, they're doing the right thing by trying to take the apartment to control, but how do you counter an angle like that when you're already wall spamming through? You're trying to take Nana? Oh look, here's Solo with an AWP, have an incendiary grenade.
And Solo also going to serve up an AWP shot in a moment if Rolex pushes too far. He's seen the booty, and he's going to clip it. It's an easy pickup for him, and we're left with 3 for Signature. QQ God pushing this one. Will he check right? He's been spotted by Glow. Glow not committing to it yet. Flash, he'll push through that. That's one. Will he find a second? He gets close, but QQ God trades it through. Zeph going to look for his own angle here. QQ God shows, and HSK finds him. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, as Zine wraps it up.
Yep, so MVP PK do manage to take Inferno 16-12. Signature definitely in it with a chance, Matt. They did so well in so many rounds.
They did. They put up a very big fight, and I think that's enough to make Ian sad.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll jump it back to the analyst desk, where we'll see how Ian is feeling right now that his boys over at Signature did go down.
Well, 16-12, that's about twice as good as Order went up against them. What on earth was that game, Sonic? Talk to me about this.
It all comes down to that 7-0 start that MVP got into them. They were able to control the game early, and even though they didn't really have such a dominant Inferno as we've seen previously against Order, they had such a buffer that they were able to kind of grind it out with some good individual players to kind of finish it out. But Signature, I'm impressed with what they actually are able to bring into it, you know, after what was a really shaky start. It would have been very easy for them to get into a similar situation to what we saw Order, where they kind of look a bit frightened, but Signature really took it to them. Late aggression, really taking control of the map and getting to good positions. You saw him trading down, playing some nice crossfire setups. Were able to grind some rounds down, but not winning that that second pistol round was so difficult at that point for them to be able to close it out, and it was too much for him against MVP.
Ian, I know you said Signature were going to win, and I know you didn't actually think Signature were going to win. So, was there any point in that game where you actually thought maybe they were going to bring this back?
Yeah, pretty much after the 7-0 thrashing, they started coming back, and it was like deja vu just watching the Order game again. When you're down 7-0 and then you throw all your eggs in the basket and say, whatever, I'm going shopping.
Yeah.
And they ended up winning a heap of rounds in a row and made a pretty reasonable half out of things. And you just got to think, well, maybe if you went out of the gate like that, you would have been better off. But anyway.
Oh, well.
The CZ did a lot of work that game, I think. But apart from that, that banana control got figured out, I think, by Signature. So
after 7 rounds?
Something, yeah. Yep. Something for the other teams to take into consideration when they verse MVP.
Overall, how do you think these two teams are feeling after this game? MVP comes through with the win, but it really felt like it lasted a lot longer than it should have,
just went forever. I think MVP are just a bit upset that the day is going so long for them. And Signature are just here to have some fun. And yeah, they're getting some rounds on the board, I guess. But you do feel like MVP are always in charge, don't you? Even when they're losing to Order, I felt like they were the better team. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Sonic, what do you think the chances are now heading into Train that Signature can turn this around and bring it back to 1-1?
It really does add this wildcard factor of them. You know, they would have a little bit of confidence from the way that they were playing. Obviously, I think that they would have come into this with the same understanding that we did. You know, Inferno was always going to be a tough task against MVP. And for them to be able to show so much bright sparks, you know, it's one of those things where they can go have a talk and like, hey, look, if we were able to close out the rounds, win a pistol round, that could have been our map on their strongest map pick. You know, like we've seen them time and time again. We've played them, you know, in the past. You know, we're definitely in this with a shot. Train, not the strongest map for MVP. They're not too bad at it, but I think it's definitely something that if they've got something prepared for it, they've got a good idea of how MVP are going to be playing. Like we saw when they had a good understanding of how MVP were playing that Inferno CT side, they were really, T side, sorry, they were really able to capitalize that. And if it's something similar for Train, which is their map pick, it could be a very similar story.
Do you want to talk us through, Ian, why you think we're going to see Train now? Why was this the pick here for Signature?
I think just based off what we saw against Order, I mean, MVP honestly looked lost on their T side for some of those rounds. They got through 1 or 2 of their strategies, and then after that it was all about just trying to get picks and work on the 3vx situations. And that's just no way to go. I mean, Signature would have prepared for a Train maybe coming up against Order if they had to. And maybe they've got something up their sleeve and just saw that weakness that MVP showed against Order. I mean, for Order to win that map in the convincing fashion that they did with some of their players just almost a little bit absent, it was just very surprising to me.
The only thing I've got to say for that is it's going to be scary. Starting out on that T side of Train, it can be so crushing. If they aren't able to get a pistol round out, it could be a very slippery slope here. They need to be able to continue that momentum where they're able to make those aggressive plays with, you know, those 2-man aggressions on areas and put the pressure on MVP. And I think that comes down to this first pistol round. This is really going to kind of create the storyline for this map.
If they go outside and say, oh, look how good we did when we YOLO'd a little bit, and then come into the T side of Train and they're able to bring that across, that's literally their only chance here. They can't run in scared, otherwise MVP will literally bully them out of the server, and then you'll get onto CT side and have no ability to take any risk.
If this comes all the way through and it does happen to be a 1-1 at the end of this map, it comes down to Cobble to see who makes it through to Sunday, who makes it through to our finals. How realistic is it here that Signature can win on Cobble?
Well, they beat him in the past, and MVP on Cobble. This is obviously going back to some later iterations before these roster changes, but they were so forceful in this mindset of. From what I've seen of them in the past, they were so forceful trying to get this double AWP set up on their CT side of Cobble, and it was such a dangerous game where if they were kind of coming into that same thing where they got the same set mindset, if it's not working for them, they don't have the money in the bank, it could be dangerous if it comes into that third map. It's a map that they both play. They both feel confident playing on it, and Signature, they've been playing so explosive when they're really aggressive. Cobble really tends itself towards that fast part control, doing things in drop, and then kind of exploiting those CT rotations when you're on your T side.
I'm not sure how much weight you can put in it either, but there is the SC Absolute game on Cobble at the start of the bracket, or start of the group against MVP, which went to overtime, didn't it? Oh, no.
16-14.
It was 16-14.
Yeah,
so that's a very close game for MVP to have against a team like SC Absolute.
If MVP win this coming into tomorrow, I just want to think about tomorrow a little bit. They're not looking very good at all. Tainted Minds must be going right now, this is our perfect scenario.
Well, I mean, it would secure their position in Dallas, wouldn't it, really? Stress-free, if that was the case. But at the same time, it's MVP. I don't think you can walk around underestimating them. But
is it MVP,
every time
mate?
It doesn't,
I can see them, right? They're over there, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like when they get into the game that's who it is.
They haven't turned up.
Brings a lot of questions for me. I think it's an interesting one for the Tainted team to be able to talk. Obviously, if MVP are able to close this one out, obviously it's only one map down, but they get into the conversation where what map do they want to play as that first map? We know that they're going to be going towards an Inferno if you give that opportunity. Do you look at that order game? Do you respect ban that? Do you stay away from that? Or do you go, hey, look, I've seen that Signature can do these things. We've obviously got our game plan for Inferno. We're going to play that against MVP. And they've got an interesting team talk for it tonight if MVP are going to be able to close this one out.
There's Cobble, there's Mirage, there's Inferno. Tainer will be happy with any of those, I think.
Well, it's going to be a tough ask no matter who it is. But as I said before, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Potentially only one map remains between MVP and Signature. It's going to be a best of 3. MVP are 1 up here, gentlemen. Predictions, I know, Ian, you said
Signature
the Signature
all
were
the way.
going to 2-0. Well, they can't all the way because they've already not all the way.
They still can 2-0 now. If you
Reverse
just
2-0.
Right.
Yeah, just forget that first map.
So we've got Ian going for the reverse sweep.
Yep.
Do you
To
feel a
win-
little bit
to
more
go to
comfortable
Dallas?
about that?
All the way
Well,
through.
all the way through to Dallas, all the way through to winning the finals in Dallas. That's what Ian's got them for. Sonic?
The greatest underdog story of all time. I've still got to go with MVP on this. I feel like the pistol rounds have been so strong from MVP. They're going to be able to close out the CT pistol round, and then train is a terrible, terrible situation. If you don't have a control on that economy of the CT side and you're not able to play forceful, HSK is going to get so much control with the AWP. And then Zion, he's such a good player, playing off of the back of those picks from HSK. He just swindles, gets into aggressive positions, lurks, and just is such a thorn in your side. And I think that's going to be too much for Signature to handle.
I'm going to go at least with Ian here and say that I think that Signature can get Train, but I do not think that they can get Cobble. So, Kev, how are the boys feeling upstairs? Are you